If you've been going from doctor to doctor, waiting on the next lab result, the next medication, the next, maybe this will fix it, and you're still tired, still inflamed, still anxious, still not you, then listen closely, because I say this with so much love, and as someone who spent 20 years as a nurse inside the system. Depending on doctors is keeping you sick, and it's not your fault. You've been taught to outsource your health. You've been told that symptoms are problems only experts can fix. But the truth is, healing doesn't come from a prescription pad. It comes from within. And no one is more equipped than you to heal your body. Let me show you why. But first, let me tell you about Jennifer. Jennifer was the perfect patient. She followed every doctor's order. She took every prescribed medication. She showed up to every appointment with detailed notes about her health and her symptoms. For 8 years, she bounced between specialist to specialist, trying to figure out why she felt like she was slowly dying. Her primary care doctor said her fatigue was depression and prescribed antidepressants. Her gynecologist said her hormonal symptoms were normal for her age and offered birth control. Her gastroenterologist diagnosed her with IBS and gave her fiber supplements. Her endocrinologist said her thyroid was fine despite obvious hypothyroid symptoms. Jennifer trusted them. She believed they knew better than she did. She took the medications, she followed the protocols, and she waited patiently for someone to fix her. But Jennifer kept getting worse. The antidepressants made her feel disconnected from herself. The birth control pills disrupted her natural cycles even more. The fiber supplements made her digestive issues worse. And through it all, no one was asking the most important question. Why was this happening in the first place? Jennifer had been taught to be a passive recipient of medical care instead of an active participant in her own healing. She had outsourced her health to a system that was never designed to help her heal. The truth is, there are 3 fundamental problems with depending on the medical system for your health. And once you understand these problems, you'll see why so many women stay sick despite doing everything their doctors tell them to do. But the first problem is the most important because it determines everything else about how you get treated. The system isn't designed to help you heal. It's designed to manage disease and suppress symptoms. And there's a massive difference between management and healing. We live in a system that's built to diagnose disease, suppress symptoms, push pharmaceuticals, and manage emergencies. And for trauma care or short-term crises, it saves lives. I've seen this firsthand as a nurse. When someone comes in with a heart attack, a stroke, a serious injury, a car accident, then conventional medicine is miraculous. But for women dealing with chronic fatigue, brain fog, hormone chaos, gut issues, anxiety, inflammation, and vague, unexplainable symptoms, it falls apart completely. Why? Because these aren't even diseases. They're signals. They're symptoms, right? Your body's trying to communicate that the terrain, your internal environment in your body is overloaded. It's depleted. It's inflamed or disconnected. But conventional care doesn't ask why. It only asks what pill can mask the symptom and make it go away. It's like having a smoke alarm going off in your house, and instead of looking for the fire, you just pull the batteries out. The system is designed to keep you as a patient, not to help you become healthy. It's about disease management, not curing it. There's no profit in teaching you how to heal yourself. There's no business model in helping you understand your body so well that you don't need constant medical intervention. It's a sad reality. This creates a devastating cycle that traps millions of women in a pattern of dependence that actually makes them sicker over time. And most women don't even realize that they're caught up in this cycle until they've been spinning in it for years. You get trapped in the outsourcing loop, and it slowly erodes your connection to your own body's wisdom. Here's what that looks like for so many women. You feel off, so you go to the doctor. They run labs, tell you everything's fine. You leave feeling confused, maybe even with a medication or a supplement recommendation. You try something new and feel a little bit better, and then you feel worse again. So you go back, try something else, get another normal result, and the cycle repeats. This is the outsourcing loop, and it's a devastating crisis because it teaches you that someone else knows your body better than you do. That if they can't find it, it must not be real. That your symptoms aren't valid unless they show up on a lab test. What happens is you start to second guess your own intuition. You stop trusting your body's signals. You begin to believe that healing is something that happens to you, not something you actively participate in. But here's the truth that no one in the medical system wants you to know. No one, not even the most brilliant doctor, lives in your body. They don't feel what you feel. They don't know what lights you up, what shuts you down, what foods fuel you, or what symptoms you've been minimizing for years. You are the expert on your own body. You are the one that knows when something feels off. You are the one who can feel those subtle changes that happen when you make different choices. Healing starts when you stop outsourcing your health and you start listening to your own body's wisdom. But why does the medical system keep missing what's really wrong with you? Why can't they figure out your fatigue, your skin issues, your anxiety, or your mysterious symptoms? The answer reveals a fundamental flaw in medical training that keeps millions of women sick. They're not trained to look at the root causes that actually create most chronic symptoms. Medical school teaches doctors to identify and treat disease, not to understand the complex ecosystem of the human body. Here's what they're not taught to look for: mitochondrial dysfunction that causes chronic fatigue, nervous system dysregulation that creates anxiety and insomnia, parasites and stealth pathogens that trigger inflammation and brain fog, lymphatic stagnation that causes puffiness and mood issues, bile congestion that leads to hormone imbalance, mineral depletion that affects every system in your body, and emotional trauma that gets stored in your tissues. They're taught to treat symptoms in isolation, not to understand how everything in your body is connected. So when you come in with multiple symptoms that seem unrelated, they send you to different specialists who each look at their one piece of the puzzle without seeing the whole picture. You end up with a Band-Aid protocol that will provide a temporary relief of those symptoms at best. Or worse, gaslighting and shame when they can't find anything wrong with you. Meanwhile, the real problem, your terrain, your internal environment in your body, continues to degrade. The parasites keep stealing your nutrients. The mold toxins keep blocking your mitochondria from making energy. The chronic stress keeps dysregulating your nervous system. The poor drainage keeps backing up toxins in your system and recirculating them. This creates a devastating outcome that goes far beyond just physical symptoms. There's something that happens to a woman who gets trapped in this system that can be even more damaging than the original health issues. You lose trust in your own body and your own intuition. And this disconnection from your inner wisdom is often what keeps you sick, long after those original triggers are gone. When doctor after doctor tells you your labs are normal, that it's probably just stress, that you should try an antidepressant, or hey, just relax, you start to internalize the messaging that you can't trust your own experience. You start to doubt your body's signals. You stop paying attention to what makes you feel better or worse because you've been told that your perceptions aren't reliable. You start accepting a diminished quality of life because you've been convinced that, hey, this is just how things are. This is medical gaslighting, and it's epidemic. It happens when the limitations of the medical system are projected onto the patient instead of acknowledging that they don't know and they don't have the tools or the training to address those complex multi-system dysfunctions. Practitioners make patients feel like the problem is their perception, not their physiology. But here's what I want you to understand. Your body is constantly communicating with you. Every symptom, every energy shift, every mood change is information. Your body is trying to tell you what it needs. It's trying to tell you what's working and what's not working. When you learn to listen to these signals instead of diminishing them or shutting them off with a medication, when you start to see symptoms as feedback rather than failures, everything changes. But there's something even more insidious about depending on the medical system for your health. It creates a mindset that actually will prevent your healing from occurring. Even when you find the right information, or the right protocols. You stay in a passive victim mindset that's incompatible with true healing. And this might be the most important thing I can tell you about why depending on doctors is keeping you sick. Healing requires you to be an active participant, not a passive recipient. It requires you to take responsibility for your choices, for your environment, for your stress levels, for your nutrition, your movement, your sleep, your relationships. But when you're constantly looking outside of yourself for answers, when you're waiting for someone else to fix you, you stay in a disempowered state that's actually blocking your body's natural healing processes. Your nervous system needs to feel safe and in control for healing to occur. When you're constantly anxious about test results, worried about what the doctor will say, or feeling helpless about your symptoms, you're stuck in fight or flight mode. Healing can't happen in fight or flight mode. True healing happens when you shift from asking, "What's wrong with me?" to "What does my body need?" When you stop waiting for permission to feel better and you start taking action based on your own body's feedback, this doesn't mean you avoid medical care when you need it. It means you become an informed, empowered participant in your own health, rather than a passive victim of whatever diagnosis or treatment that you're offered. So what does it look like to stop depending on doctors and start taking ownership of your own healing? The answer requires a fundamental shift in how you think about health symptoms and your role in the healing process itself. Real healing requires you to become the authority on your own body. And this shift from passive patient to empowered healer changes everything about your health outcomes. This doesn't mean doing it alone or avoiding professional support by any means. It means becoming the leader of your own healing team. It means learning to read your body's signals, understanding what creates health versus what creates disease, and making informed decisions based on your own experiences and intuition. Here's what this looks like. You learn to reconnect with your body's signals instead of dismissing them. You understand why symptoms are happening, not just how to suppress them. You support your body's natural drainage and detoxification processes. You calm your nervous system so healing can actually occur. You rebuild your terrain from the root so energy, hormones, mood, and immunity can regulate naturally. When you understand your biology, you stop fearing it. You stop outsourcing it, and you stop waiting for permission to feel better. You start to see your body as an ally, not an enemy. You recognize that symptoms are communication, not punishment. You understand that your body is always trying to heal, and your job is to remove the obstacles that are preventing that healing from occurring. But there's something magical that happens when you make that shift from dependence to empowerment. It goes beyond just resolving your physical symptoms. There's a transformation that affects every area of your life. You reclaim your power, not just over your health, but over your entire life. And this empowerment, it ripples out into everything you do. When you stop waiting for someone else to fix you, you realize that you have more control of your health and over your life than you ever imagined. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you start being the creator of your experience. You develop confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes up. You trust your intuition. You make decisions based on what feels right for your body, not what someone else tells you to do. I've seen women transform not just their physical health, but their relationships, their careers, their entire sense of self when they just reclaim ownership of their healing. Take Maria, one of my clients who came to me after years of being dismissed by doctors. She had chronic fatigue, digestive issues, anxiety that no one could explain. But more than that, she had lost all confidence in her ability to make decisions about her own life. Through learning to listen to her body and address the root causes of her symptoms, Maria didn't just get her energy back. She got her power back. She was left a job that was draining her. She was ending a relationship that wasn't serving her, and she started a business doing work she was passionate about. The healing wasn't just physical, it was a complete reclamation of her authority over her own life. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you understand how to work with your body's natural healing, then you become your own healer. You become unstoppable. You don't need to depend on anyone else to feel good in your body. You develop unshakable confidence in your ability to heal and maintain your health, regardless of what challenges come your way. This doesn't mean that you never get sick or never need support. It means you have the knowledge, the tools, and the mindset to navigate health challenges from a place of empowerment rather than fear. You know how to support your body's natural detoxification processes. You understand how to regulate your nervous system. You can read your body's signals and respond appropriately. You know what foods, environments, and lifestyle choices support your constitution. Most importantly, you trust yourself. You trust your body's innate wisdom. You trust your ability to make good decisions about your health. This is true healthcare, not the management of disease, but the cultivation of health. Not the suppression of symptoms, but the support of your body's natural healing processes. What if I told you there was a completely different approach to your health? One that doesn't involve years or doctor visits or normal lab results or being told nothing's wrong when you clearly don't feel right or you're not told you're crazy. There is. It's called taking full ownership of your healing, and it's the most empowering thing you can do for your health in your life. This approach recognizes that you are the expert on your own body. It honors your symptoms as intelligent communication. It addresses root causes instead of suppressing symptoms. It supports your body's natural healing processes instead of overriding them. When you take ownership of your healing, you stop being a victim of your health, and you start being the creator of it. You stop waiting for someone else to fix you, and you start actively participating in your own wellness. The women who make this shift, they don't just get their health back. They often end up healthier and more empowered than they've ever been in their life. And that transformation is possible for you too. I've seen women go from years of medical mystery and dependence to complete confidence in their ability to heal and maintain their health. From feeling powerless and broken to feeling strong and capable. From being victims of their circumstances to being creators of their experience. This is what happened when I walked away from the system after being told I was in heart failure with no explanation. That's when I stopped asking what was wrong with me and started asking what was blocking my body from healing. That's when everything changed. I didn't just heal my heart condition, I discovered a level of health and vitality I never even knew was possible. I went from being a passive patient to being an empowered healer. And this transformation is available right now. You don't have to wait for the medical system to catch up. You don't have to accept feeling terrible as a new normal. If you're tired of waiting, tired of chasing, tired of trusting a broken system that keeps failing you, then I want you to watch my story. I share exactly how I went from being just manage it until you die to reversing my symptoms naturally and stepping into a real, lasting energy and healing that's still going today. You'll discover the exact approach that helped me reclaim my health and my power and how you can do the same thing. Because your body isn't broken. It's brilliant. And it's waiting for you to remember that you're in charge now.